So why am I the authority on all things retro? Well, my name is 8-Bit Blood. I bleed pixelated blood. That's how I got the name. So I was born in 1979 and I lived through like the golden age of gaming. So I felt the energy of those early arcade days. Then eventually these game consoles came home. I built lifelong friendships sitting hip to hip on the floor wired to a gaming console with a controller. Like you see this picture right here? This is me calling the Nintendo hotline. I didn't have a Nintendo, but I got in trouble. This is my friend Tim and Jordan. We spent a lot of time together on the floor sitting and playing games. That was awesome. Here's my friend Jason, probably getting ready to play Quake. We played Quake a lot. There's a lot of that.
Which brings us to this device, the ModRetro Chromatic. It came out last year during the holiday season. This thing has been on my radar for a while. Knife safety is important, you guys. Always cut away. All right, box feels good. So this is a magnesium alloy case, and it feels really good. It feels smooth and sturdy, and it comes with the ModRetro Tetris, which is a new version of Tetris. In classic AAA batteries, AAAs are going to be around forever. Okay, you can put a rechargeable cell in this thing and then just plug it in via USB and it charges without switching out batteries a lot. It has a nice QR code on the front so you can update it, always update your firmware. So I got a little something to do down in Austin, so we're going to take a quick little trip down south, and I had to take this guy with me, so I'm really excited to put it through the ringer.
And I should probably mention that ModRetro was founded by a guy named Palmer Luckey. Look, people rearrange furniture in hotel rooms. It's a thing. So what does this guy, this Jack-in-a-Box eating, Mountain Dew drinking, super nerd, know about tech?
So this is Palmer Luckey. He's the guy behind ModRetro, Anduril, and Oculus VR.
The goal here was to build the ultimate way to play Game Boy games. Not just the next one or one of many, but indisputably the very best way, the most authentic, the highest quality, one that will last for generations as a piece of heirloom grade tribute art.
Palmer Luckey was born in 1992 in Long Beach. Now, the early 90s were a different time. You had Aladdin, you had grunge was taking over the music scene at the time. Macaulay Culkin got lost in New York, and MS-DOS 5 was all the rage. And then the console wars spun up. Super Nintendo, Genesis came out. Game Boy came out in 1989. It was already a little bit behind the times, but then the Game Boy Color showed up in 1996, and that one really impacted Palmer Luckey.
So Palmer Luckey started ModRetro about 15 years ago. So he did this before the Oculus. So this thing comes from a really sweet place. Imagine this right here being not just a Game Boy Color, but the last Game Boy Color that ever needs to be made. Because this thing will last a lot longer than the other one does. And those of you that don't know, if you find a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, a lot of the boards are breaking down, a lot of the components are breaking down, so specifically like the audio is terrible. This guy sounds really good. Really good, feels really good. But this is a project that's near and dear to his heart. So when you get this thing in your hands, it feels sturdy, it's well made. So you saw the unboxing, you kind of know what's important to me and what I look for in a product like this. This is really cool because you can buy emulators, you can get the ones that kind of have like 1,000 different things you can download on it. You can play NES games on it. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to stuff like this. I wanted to do one thing really, really well. And this thing does the one thing really, really well. This is not a paid sponsorship. This is not a paid ad. This is just me. I actually reached out to ModRetro and said, hey, I got my wife one of these, which I did for Christmas, the Game Boy, the GameStop exclusive, the silver one, which looks beautiful. But I said she won't share it with me. So They sent me one to review, to look at, to play around. And now, because you can do multiplayer with these guys via USB-C and some settings on this thing, I'm really excited to beat her at Tetris.
All right, so it's time to go for the gym. An astronaut never skips a workout. So welcome to Metroflex, Arlington, the original. So I work out every day, and I figured if this is a mobile device, I should take it to the gym with me and see if it holds up under my hardcore routine. Guys, make sure to re-rack your weights. It's important. I'll put mine back. So this thing was a lot of fun. Now, for the record, I only used it in between my sets. I didn't sit around for days messing with it. All right, that's it for the workout. Time for nutrition. So bottom line, this is a very unique piece of hardware. Like I said, this is clearly a passion project for Palmer Luckey. This device is a ModRetro masterpiece. It was inspired by something that came out in 1998, and it's built with modern parts. This thing is a premium device. Now, the one thing to know here, this is a full hardware emulation. This is not software stacked on software. Most of like the Game Boy devices you get that are like $50 tend to have like software stacked on top of an Android OS, and they can get pretty buggy and weird, but this is like a one-to-one hardware to the original Game Boy Color. This device right here thinks it's a Game Boy Color. If you took one from 1998 and plugged it into this, it would respond the same way one of the old ones would respond. This is legit a Game Boy Color in the best way. So the case is lightweight. The screen is super bright. It looks really good outside. They did a great job with the 160 by 144 like pixel ratio in this thing. This is an exact replication of what your eyes would be seeing on the screens back then. This is the Gorilla Glass version. Now there is a Sapphire lab created display. You will see like Sapphire right there in the middle if you have one. Aaron's a GameStop one that I got her at Christmas. This is like the second version. And on the website, you can actually toggle the option. You'll save a few greenbacks if you go with the Gorilla Glass option. When you open this up, it has a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth module on the board. There is room to solder a micro SD card onto this device. This is built with modding in mind. And also, I'm really excited to see what Palmer Luckey and the ModRetro crew are cooking up for future updates. There's a lot of potential here. And like one of the things I'm hearing about this guy is people are upset at the price tag. So the Sapphire version is a little more expensive, but this one right here is $199 US. And so when you think about the original cost of the Game Boy Color back in 1996, it was $79.95. If you roll that up with inflation in today's dollars, that's roughly around $160. And so like, it's not that much more expensive than what the original was, adjusted for inflation and whatnot. I know this is a premium product. It does come with a price tag. So look, as far as my recommendation, I mean, you clearly know the price point is a little high. If you can afford this, this is great. If you can afford this, I highly recommend you get it if you love retro gaming. The other thing is, a lot of, like, me and Aaron don't have kids, but a lot of kids in my world, if I had kids, I would bring them up on this. I would hand this to them. I love the idea that everything is contained within this device. You know, gaming on a phone is fine, but I think there's something special to this. And you can play games with your kids if you have this. So I think this is definitely for a very specific generation, but I think there's a younger audience that will find a sweet place for this. Okay, I love it. I love it. Good job, Palmer Luckey and the ModRetro team. If nostalgia is tourism into your youth, why not take that trip first class and take along some friends? Also, don't sleep on Jack in the Box. Tacos are next level. So good. So good.